guys, I hope you're all well. Today I thought I'd come on here and actually talk to you about my personal self-love journey, because I always help people with self-love, and I thought I would dive a little bit into my own, because I feel that a self-love journey is over a period of time. Mine was over a period of probably 10 years, but that is how I've discovered the self-love tools that I've used to then help others. So really, my self-love journey started with my awakening. And that was back in 2010 when I discovered guided meditation. When I was super depressed and I didn't want to live, I just thought there was nothing for me. I just thought I'd ruined my life by making the wrong decision when I had the car accident. And discovering guided meditations, I found guided meditations by looking at on YouTube at UFO videos. Crazy story. Like, I feel that whenever I've been led to look at UFO things, that other things then happen. So then, yeah, I discovered guided meditation, and that completely changed my life on its own, as you may know. And if you don't know me, that really did. I had a car accident when I was 15, if you didn't know, and I got really depressed, and guided meditations brought me out of that depression. And that's when I realized, like, there's more to this world. Like, the world is so magic, and everything is way more beautiful than we take it for granted a lot of the time. When we start to see things in a more magical way, that's when more magic happens for us personally as well. So that was the start, and it was kind of like I would go in and out of the spiritual world, and I had my tarot cards. I was reading a lot of books in this time and learning a bit about it, but then it sort of dipped off and I lost it a bit. But in that time I was still doing me, I was still being me, I was still feeling like my authentic self. But I feel that you grow into the true authentic self, and I feel like even in 5 years from now, I'll probably be like, wow, Jordan, you're even more you now. Like, you grow, we change. So it wasn't that I wasn't ever being myself, I was changing. It was like being a butterfly, right? So my self-love journey started then, without me knowing. I've only really discovered probably the past year that it was a self-love journey, because all the things that happened in between led me to self-love. Now, there were certain situations and certain people within my life that I probably wasn't my true self with. I was myself, but I had to hide parts of myself, and that's really not the sort of vibe we're going for, guys. We want to be around people that we can be our full selves with, and for them to accept us just as we are, with all the quirks and all the weirdness, or so weirdness, not necessarily actually weird, but just things that really light us up. We should be able to be ourselves. And when we are our true self, that's when our real tribe comes to us and our soul friends come to us. But yeah, so I started with meditation, and then I went through just life as normal in my 20s and just like did meditation. I would do talks, kind of motivational talks, talking about like motivation, how you can live your best life despite anything that happens to you. And I would talk about car accidents, like road safety. So that was part of my journey, and that was part of my path at the time. And then I started to think about gratitude, and I would think how lucky we are to be alive. And I was just like, wow, no matter what's happened to me, I am still the lucky one. I got a second chance. I'm even luckier, really, because I could have died all those years ago, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do now. I wouldn't be able to live. I wouldn't be able to just be me. And that was really like wow to me, because having gratitude then became a really key in my life. I've got a tattoo of grateful written on here. So having gratitude really did change my mindset of like being grateful for me, and being grateful for those around me, being grateful for my body despite it being paralyzed. Like, it keeps me alive every single day. And that gave myself self-love, because I realized how worthy my body is, even though it may not be perfect. But it's perfect because it works. Because in terms of, it doesn't work in all aspects, like I can't walk, but it works because it keeps me alive. My heart beats. The universe is connected to me through my heart, and it's beating for me. So when you look at the bigger picture, that's when it's like, whoa. And then I felt really, you know, I came out of a long relationship, and I really started to rediscover myself again. And I think a lot of people do when they've been in a long relationship, And I really started to dive deep within self-love, because I would then, I was just doing things that I've always wanted to do, like going to California. And then I went to Tony Robbins, which was like mind-blowing in itself. And I wouldn't have had the courage to do that before. And I was like, no, I'm living my truth. I'm going to do these things. When I did those things, more good things happened for me. And I started to see my worth more. And going to Tony Robbins really made me understand that being my true self is key. And that I am perfect just as I am. And if people don't vibe that, that's nothing to do with me. That's their judgment and not down to me. So understanding my worth was key. And just doing those things, being courageous and flying across the world, not flying across the world, but flying to Florida and just like, you know, diving deep into the 6-day, 13-hour-a-day event was crazy. But it was like, I know I need to do this. I need to shake things up. So after that, I then was like, I want to be a life coach, because I feel that I can offer so much, because, you know, I've been through so many challenges, and I know like how life is still challenging. Like, it's not like I'm suddenly cured, but I know there's more to me than just this body. And I think that's key, because, you know, if you want to reach out to someone and have some guidance and they haven't ever been through a struggle in their lives, it's like, well, how can they help me? Because they can't even see the perspective here. Whereas I feel like I've been like, I had one of the worst, not the worst thing, but a really bad thing happen. And I've had other things that have happened as well. Like, I then had a malignant melanoma in my leg, which, you know, is fine, but I'd have to have my skin checked every year now. It used to be every 6 months by a dermatologist. And I actually found that back in 2010 as well, when I was doing my guided meditation. And I felt really cool about it. I was like, fine, what will be will be. We've caught it early, right? Which was the key thing we did. But all of these things have led me to where I am now. So after Tony Robbins, I was like, yes, it's time to step into my power. And then I had another lesson to learn. Okay, so lessons don't stop. And I let someone else take my power away. I started to believe that I couldn't do the talks that I wanted to do. I was like, I'm going to do talks. I'm going to be a life coach. I'm going to help people. I'm going to do all of this all the time. I'm just going to love my life, live my best life by helping people and being able to, you know, go everywhere. I'm going to write another book. I'm going to do all this. That all just like dissolved. And I allowed someone to take my power away. I feel like now I'm sort of understanding that, yes, people can't be the right people for us, but it's still down to us if we let them do these things, you know what I mean, kind of. So I let my power be taken away. I was told sometimes, you know, oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to do those talks. But then it was reflected into me as if, oh, should I be nervous about this? Is this wrong? Like, oh, I would feel like that, and I'd be like, I don't want to do it. But I did a couple actually, only a couple last year, and I felt awful after doing them. And it's so funny, because I'm going to fast forward a bit, because this year, before, you know, the lockdown happened, I did one interview at Facebook, and then I did a panel talk at Facebook. I was buzzing. I loved it. Whereas before, when I was not in the right vibe energy and the right vibe energy wasn't around me, I felt like crap. I felt so poorly afterwards. I felt so uncomfortable. I felt like I needed to sleep for a week. Whereas this, I was like so happy. I was like, that may have helped somebody. I feel really like I'm manifesting my dreams. I'm doing what I've said I wanted to do. So going back again to last year, and then, you know, I lost my way a little bit. This was always still in me, ingrained, of course, because it then just came out like, came back. It was like my light just shone again. But it was like that ended, and, you know, go through like that sort of, those emotions is always rubbish. But then it was all good, and then I went to America again, and I had the most amazing 30th birthday. And all this time I was just like, do you know what? I love my life. I'm so grateful for my life, and I love who I am. And I feel like all these challenges have really showed me how much I do love myself, and I can say proudly that I love myself. And all these challenges have led me to where I want to be. are leading me to that path even. Like I might not even be there yet. I'm climbing this mountain. But without those past challenges, I would not then think, wow, look how far you've come. Look how amazing you are. You didn't give up. And I have challenges all the time, guys, like we all do. But with a spinal injury, we have to rely on people a lot. And when people let you down, that's one aspect. That's one aspect that I need to try and heal within myself, actually, is that. Because even though I don't know if I can, because that's one thing, it's just like unavoidable, right? It's not like, you know, we can only control ourselves. But when you need to rely on people just to do simple things like live, that's when it's tricky. A simple human need, like sleep. So I now know that I can deal with anything. I know that I'm really proud of who I am and I love who I am. And it's all because of the challenges that I faced. And although they're crap situations, it's like led me here. And now I meditate every single day. I like to journal. I like to script. I have a vision board. I believe that these amazing things are going to happen. I feel it. I know it. It's a great thing to make sure you move. So back in 2017, I started the gym. Obviously, I haven't really worked out hardly at all this year. And I need to get back into that. I keep saying it, but I really do. It's just like that will come into place. It will. I know I will. I'm manifesting a little routine. But I really got into that, and I was like, do you know what? The power of movement is so important. Because when you move, not necessarily just exercise, but when you move, you make yourself feel good. The endorphins are flowing, the blood is flowing, that stagnant energy is flowing. So important. So I do that. I work with the universe, of course. I would like to work with the new moon and the full moon. I liked, what else is, I have like, look, I have steps for my self-love. But I suppose I won't tell you all of them because they're within my my course and within my work that I do with clients. But it's all these things that you may think, that's not really self-love. Like, how is meditation self-love? And it's like it leads you to self-love. And it's like affirmations. I'm just going to say affirmations are amazing too. Like to say, I am worthy, and feel it. Don't just go, I am worthy. Because like, you could be saying, I'm eating a burger. Like, say things that are like, you feel it, and just really try and catch yourself when you're thinking negative thoughts as well, guys. So I do that a lot. Try and change it. Listening to high vibe music helps. I'm creating a high vibe playlist at the moment. I've got like 20 songs on there right now, but having those playlists are really good because you can snap yourself into a better mood. But I've really started to understand over lockdown, a bit late now, it's like August, but you know, over this period of this year really, how important understanding the shadow is. And if you have self-love, you will accept that shadow too. And that may be something that you're surprised to hear, but it's true. It's really important to let that side out, because if you bury these negative emotions, if you're burying it positivity like this, it just gets suffocated, and then one day it's gonna go, and you're gonna feel really, really bad. So what I like to do if I'm feeling like a certain way, write the emotion down, let myself cry if I need to, give myself that moment, and then I'm like, okay, I'm okay now, I'm back on it. I'm not just gonna pretend it's okay. So my self-love journey has been a roller coaster. It's all been kind of from experiences and then understanding my worth. I know that I'm a good person, and that is where I'm like, that's why I said to you the other week, guys, write down everything that you're proud of. Even the things that are bad, because you're proud that you got through them. Like, that's amazing. Just to see where you've come from to where you are now is when you can start to give yourself some love and be like actually nice to yourself. Self-love is key, and I feel like it's super important to then be able to live your best life, because you could be very goal orientated, you can be very ambitious, but if you don't have that self-love and self-worth, you're not going to feel as fulfilled, because you're not taking care of you. You're just like, okay, I want to get this done, I want to get this done, which is all part of it, but I feel like this is the first step, self-love. And then I feel that you find more your purpose. You find the things that you really enjoy and you go with the things you enjoy. You find ways of using the things you enjoy to then use to have as a career, or to have more in your life, because you know your worth, you know that you can do this. And that's when you'll have more self-belief. So you have more self-belief when you start loving yourself. So then you can achieve more and you can create this dream life. So I'm not saying that self-love is more important than that. I'm saying that's like, I would say, the first step. You've got to do those things, clean that slate, and then it's like, okay, let's start self-love. Like, we can combine it. We can combine both of these things, but self-love, and then it's like, I'm going to create the life of my dreams, because you're going to believe it more. When you have that self-worth, you'll believe it more. And I truly do. And may have been times in the past where I probably didn't as much as I thought I did. And again, even in a few years' time, I'll be like, that girl 5 years ago had no idea. It's crazy what path we're going to go on. So I'm excited to see what happens next, really. But self-love is key. And I just think if you have that, you're golden. But if you would like to work with me, guys, so I'm a coach. I do bespoke plans, but I also have a self-love plan, which I may create into a course shortly. But if you would like to work one-on-one with me, then please do reach out. Obviously, I'll explain it way better than this, and it'll be towards you, and we can work together. But I just wanted to share a bit of this for you to show how things can change. I haven't spoken about everything. I've just kind of, you know, we're on the surface, we can get deeper than this. But I do think that it's important for you to know that, especially, I really feel like, especially with my situation, I can really help you, because life can be hard. I can't even move my freaking fingers, but I'm happy. And I know that life is magical. So what I would like you to do is to, at some point today, if you can't get outside, look out the window and just look how beautiful the world is. Look how beautiful nature is. Look at the trees blowing in the breeze. Look at the sky. Look at the birds. Look at the ground. And then look at yourself and be like, you are nature too. We are all nature. We are all perfect, just as we are. And just like nature too, we go through cycles. So there may be times where it's like, ugh, and it's like, you feel that you're in winter. Then you'll be in spring where you're planting the seeds. Then you'll be in summer and you're full bloom. And then, you know, it's just a cycle. So nothing's all divinely timed. But if you're thinking of doing something as well, guys, right now, go for it. Start believing in you. I believe in you. I'm a mirror for you. You know this is true. Ooh, I rhymed. But I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'm sending so much love. And let me know if you have any questions. Email me if you'd like to work with me, of course. And also in the comments below, if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about, please leave it there as well. But I'm sending so much love, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks, guys.